So the theme of the week is balance, and one of the things that's really helped me in thinking about balance is I think a lot of the time we imagine balance as this tightrope experience where we have to keep our arms out to the side and try not to look down and one foot in front of the other, and we have to hold everything in at the right balance and compensate for the things around us that might be shaking us. But I think a better metaphor for balance might actually be the experience of floating down a river. Um, Life is fluid and it has flow and it has direction, and there's a little bit of a difference in the way that we can imagine balance in that way. Of course, we can struggle and try to climb back upstream even though the river's flowing the other way, or we can try to stay a certain distance close to the shore, or drag certain things with us. Or we can take a few deep breaths and float to the surface of the river, and a couple things happen. Our perspective changes. We're actually able to see the sunlight and appreciate it, and to see the birds that are flying or the things that are on the shore that we hadn't noticed before. And this really illustrates balance well for me because I think when we're feeling stuck or imbalanced, often what we need is a similar perspective change. And that perspective change brings about a few notable things. The first thing is that we're able to notice gifts where previously we might have only seen dangers or liabilities. We might actually start to value our circumstances in a way that was not previously available to us. The second thing is that we might actually notice liabilities where we previously only saw gifts. We might realize that this thing we've been holding on to and dragging down the river actually doesn't have nearly as much value as we thought it did to us, and we might see that it's not really a priority anymore, or that it's something we can actually just release and kind of let float away and put us back into balance a little. And then three, perspective change often also provides us with more choices. Yeah, we may not be controlling exactly how the river turns or where it carries us to some degree, but there are so many choices within the river. We could play, we could be splashing and having fun, or we could be bathing during that time, or maybe we're using the leaves to make little imaginary sailboats, or exercising and learning how to swim. There are a lot of options that become more clear to us when we actually reach this sense of internal balance instead. And the other thing about imagining balance in this way is that instead of mustering up all of your strength to try and rigidly make sure you keep everything in that you need to, as in the tightrope metaphor, this river metaphor really gets at the reality, as I said before, that life has flow, it's fluid, and there are unexpected things that are going to come. But that doesn't mean that they're bad. And in fact, when you're floating, you're actually relaxed, and we're actually able to greet unanticipated things with a sense of expectancy that we just couldn't do when we were all clenched up. And balance doesn't begin with taking external actions. It doesn't begin with making decisions that aren't rooted in knowledge of yourself. It actually begins internally with knowing your values and knowing your priorities, and then watching from there as the external actions flow when you live your life with intention. So my challenge for you guys is think of an area of your life where you're feeling stuck. What benefit might you get from floating to the surface? Maybe you'll see more gifts, or maybe you're in a different place in the river where you're actually freed up to play or to bathe. But my challenge for you is to get some new perspective on that area you're feeling stuck in and watch what emerges.